My roommate in rehab was the sweet grandmother type who knitted scarves for everyone. Last week I found out what she was really in for when I checked into Sunrise Recovery Center 6 months ago. I was a mess, 25 years old, lost my job, my apartment, and pretty much everyone who ever cared about me thanks to my cocaine addiction. I was angry, defensive, and convinced everyone there was either weak or lying about wanting to get clean. She was 67, silver-haired, and had this calming presence that reminded me of my grandmother before she passed. While the rest of us were struggling through group therapy sessions and ache symptoms, Dorothy seemed genuinely at peace. She'd sit in the common room every evening knitting these my second day, holding up a soft dare for prescription pills. Part seemed like the kind of gentle addiction an older woman might develop after surgery or chronic pain. We'd talk during craft time and she'd tell me stories about her garden, her late husband, her 3 cats named after flowers. Dorothy became my anchor during the hardest weeks. When I'd wake up from nightmares about using, she'd already be awake, reading in the chair by the window. She never asked questions, just patted the chair next to her, and we'd sit quietly until breakfast. She taught me to knit pants, said keeping my hands busy would help with the cravings. Those repetitive motions became meditative, and working on something constructive felt revolutionary after years of only destroying things. Other residents would joke that Dorothy was everyone's rehab grandmother. She remembered birthdays, celebrated small victories, and somehow made that sterile facility feel more like home. Even a counselor seemed to light up around her. 3 weeks before my discharge, I overheard 2 staff members talking outside the medication. 2 years clean, our journey for drugs. She was court-ordered after her 3rd DUI. But here's the thing, she wasn't drinking and closer, pretending to read the meals to homebound seniors every Tuesday for 15 years, never missed a week. Then her arthritis got bad, and driving became painful, so she'd have a few drinks before her route to manage the pain. Said she couldn't bear the thought of those elderly people going without their weekly meal and pulled over coming back from delivering to an 89-year-old man whose family never visits. Judge said 3 strikes meant mandatory rehab, even though everyone knew she wasn't a danger. Her usual spot, working on a yellowed hands, worked the needles with practiced precision. This woman who'd risked everything because she couldn't looked at me with those kind eyes. Sometimes we just need the right circumstances. Graduated from the program. Dorothy had finished her court-mandated stay 2 months earlier, but she showed up to my ceremony anyway carrying a forest green scarf. I am 4 months clean now and I volunteer at a senior center every Tuesday. I think Dorothy would approve. Sometimes the most beautiful souls end up in the most beautiful souls end up in the most unexpected places.